Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and this is an interesting moment for me to happen to be recording a video. As I record this, it is 1 a.m. Here in the Midwest in the United States, and XRP is running. As I record this, it's at 25.9 cents. And so there's so much to say in this video. I'm going to share with you opinions from a few different analysts in this video. There's one that says in the short term, expecting XRP to hit about 33 cents. And there's another analyst who says in the short term, maybe next 1 to 2 weeks, seeing XRP again at around 46 cents. And he made his case as to why. So I'm going to share with you some opinions. I'll share with you my general thoughts as well. But I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and so you absolutely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I just enjoy talking about these topics as an enthusiast, and I run this YouTube channel purely as a very enjoyable hobby. It's my most favoriteest hobby I've ever had, but that is indeed all it is. If you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I'd appreciate the support, and consider subscribing if you've not yet done so. Because if you do, all of your wildest dreams will come true. Vote for Pedro. So as I record this again, XRP 25.8 cents. And here is the 24-hour chart for XRP, which I refreshed right before I hit record. And you can see the 24-hour low, 21.7 cents. 24-hour high, 26.4 cents. So that's quite a jump. And it actually, I saw that high. It was there just a few minutes before I actually hit record on this video, and then it dropped down just a little bit. Market's a little bit volatile, but still, that's where it is as I record this thing. And you listening to this, you're X amount of time into the future, so you know more than me. But in the moment, it's looking pretty good, I would say. You got Bitcoin at $33,029, the market cap for the asset class at its highest ever, even down to the minute, it's pretty well there. They're $913 billion. You think we're not going to hit $1 trillion relatively soon? You got Bitcoin dominance declining as altcoins have been running. Bitcoin dominance down to 67.22%. So you'll notice Bitcoin been trading sideways a bit after a tremendous run. And now alts like even Ethereum, look at this, Ethereum, $1,126. And so with XRP, I'm just sharing with you my rather unprofessional opinion. But look, I think all the people that were scared of the news with the SEC that wanted to get out, by and large, they're out. Now, I think that there are some that are going to wait for XRP to get to a higher time frame, and then if they decide they can't handle it, maybe they'll tap out too. But the vast majority, they've already been shaken out. And by the way, I don't mean that in an insulting way, because I recognize absolutely that investing in crypto and XRP is risky, and I personally believe that investing in XRP and holding it now is riskier than it was before the SEC came in and just like ruined everyone's day. And it's not to look, I want to be clear also that it doesn't mean I have less conviction. I'm just acknowledging that with everything out there with the SEC, if it doesn't go the way we want it to, things could look pretty bad, but I think that Ripple will be proven to be on the right side of history, and my conviction is strong, and so I personally have chosen to continue holding XRP, but I won't disparage ever anyone for either reducing or eliminating all of their exposure to XRP. You just got to do what you feel is right, and if you can't sleep at night or anything along those lines, I'm totally sympathetic. And this has not been fun for me either, but I've thoroughly thought through it, and there's no way for me to know how this is all going to end, but I think that justice will be done in the end. Maybe not everybody will be right because there's been so much financial harm because of the SEC actions, but I think in terms of Ripple being proven to be on the right side of history and additional regulatory clarity, I'm an optimist on that front. I always want to be a realist, but I am optimistic, having looked at the state of things. And look, I don't have a law background either, but it's when you're making decisions in life, you're not going to be professional in everything. And so I just look at arguments on both sides, and then I have to determine for myself what I personally think sounds most rational. And I just can't imagine a world where XRP is actually in the United States deemed legally to be a security. It exceeds all forms of logic. I can't imagine that actually happening. But we'll have to see how this plays out. And so you've got chart analyst Dennis Surachuk, who writes for Crypto Comes, saying some positive things about XRP and the direction he thinks it's going to go. He wrote, XRP is the worst gainer today as the rate of the altcoin has increased by only 0.32% over the previous 24 hours. So, of course, this is before the most recent run-up. But still, he has a longer-term outlook, even though it's technically short-term. But let me finish. From the technical point of view, XRP has entered short-term growth after a sharp drop. There is a high concentration of liquidity at the current levels, which means that buyers are accumulating power for a future rise. All in all, if bulls hold the 22-cent mark, the next stop is 33 cents. It may be achieved by the end of the current month. And so here's what's interesting to me. This analyst thinks that if we hold 22 cents, which we did, actually, and now it's as you can see, it's up 33 cents in the cards in the coming weeks, right? Now, there's chart analyst Credible Crypto, who at his level, he cited a 24 cent. So again, Dennis Surchuk says the level to watch for holding is 22 cents. Credible Crypto says 24 cents. We didn't hold 24 for the weekly close, but it's close. So it's like, are we splitting hairs here? Because in a general sense, they had fairly similar outlooks, even though admittedly disparities in terms of how high they think XRP could go in the short term. But you can see there was this chart that he put out a little bit earlier today, where he was indicating that XRP could get up ultimately to 46 cents. And he put out a video, by the way, within the last couple of hours. I'll show you how to get to that if you guys want to check it out. But he articulated in that video, I watched the whole thing, it was almost 20 minutes, that he thinks that it's in the cards for XRP within the next week or two to hit 46 cents. And so some of the points he's been making, some of them are similar to points that I've been making. And mind you, I don't have a chart analyst background of any kind also. And like, I don't want to learn that stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. I enjoy researching fundamentals, I really do, but I'm very appreciative of people that have taken the time to learn how to read charts, because I just genuinely don't have the interest, but I value the opinions that they share. And so it's fun to talk. Like, I'm just as interested in the topic as you are, clearly. But so there's the shakeout based on this news, if you want to call it a fundamental thing, the fundamental scary news about the SEC attacking Ripple. But outside of that, I still believe that XRP is going to continue to follow in a general sense the price action of the broader crypto market. I still think it's going to move in tandem. What would it take to stop that? My gosh, you'd have to have like an end game type scenario, and this isn't it. You'd have to have like a BitConnect type situation, which that was an outright scam, mind you. But as far as XRP, my humble opinion is that if you're going to have something like that, I mean, I don't even know for sure if XRP being declared a security would do that, because it would still be traded globally. And there's still most of the liquidity, mind you, it's outside the United States. So I think it would come down to, since admittedly, Ripple being a cheerleader for the space, if they could no longer be a cheerleader, that would be a strong factor. But even if declared a security, I honestly don't know what the implications would be for Ripple's business model. But as it stands now, XRP is at the core of their business model, undeniably. So, ultimately, I think that we'd probably pretty well all agree that if this turns out the way we think and hope it will, that from a regulatory clarity perspective, that it's going to be off to the races, which is why I'm not willing to, for any time period, reduce my XRP holdings. I'm no longer purchasing. I stopped that months ago, but I'm not giving up a single one. I'm just not. And I understand what I'm doing. I'm risking a lot. I get it. It's very risky. I acknowledge that, but I'm firm in my conviction, and that's that. That's the personal choice that I have made here. But I think even in the short term, before you have clarity, what Credible Crypto was saying just makes all the sense in the world to me. And he articulated a lot of reasons why. Let me show you a few other tweets that he put out. And so after he put out this chart where he was showing that XRP could get up potentially around 46 cents, somebody named Chris asked him on Twitter, is it dead cat bounce? With, of course, dead cat bounce just being this idea of, if you have an asset, in this case, a cryptocurrency XRP, if it's trending downwards, could you see a notable pop up, but then it just ultimately corrects back to the downside and continues its downward trend? That's what's called a dead cat bounce, which is, I don't even know where the hell the name came from. It's weird, but that's, I don't know. That's, traders are special people. I don't know. Credible Crypto responded, could be, and saying it could be a dead cat bounce. But he wrote, but I think this is more than a dead cat bounce. So he's acknowledging that's possible, but he went in great if you want all the specifics, you should actually watch his detail. Like, I try to stay out of too much of the technical stuff. There are other channels out there that do that. I just want to share the general opinions from all sorts of different analysts, but you can find that type of information for sure. And then somebody named Trader Gores wrote, Credible Crypto, I can't help but think the play right now is XRP. Thoughts? ? Credible Crypto responded, it certainly looks like that, but waiting to see how this weekly candle closes first. And then Trader Gores responded, sorry if I missed it, but what close are you looking at? And then he cited their 24 cents, which we didn't hit. So it depends, was the level to look at 22 cents or was it 24 cents? And so they can disagree. I can't answer that, but it's pretty close. Pretty close levels to look for. And now, after that close, we just happen to be, at least at the time I'm recording this, anything can happen, but we see XRP pumping on up. And then here's a tweet from MJ who wrote, "Credible Crypto, hey brother, hope you're having a nice New Year's. Just wanted your take on ETH. Obviously, it's finally running like everyone expected, but just how far do you expect it to move? Is there any reason to keep an eye on buying?" And he wrote, "Like most majors, I fully expect it to break all-time high soon. Would upside target around 10,000, he means with upside target around $10,000 by the end of this bull run is feasible in my opinion." And here was another one. Oh yeah, here we go. So I have to do Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is up. And this, mind you, this is a little bit earlier since alts have been running a bit since this tweet, but this is still a newer tweet just from the other day. Bitcoin dominance is up another 3% since last posting. At this rate, I think 83 to 88% dominance is actually a possibility. It's definitely hard to imagine, but we are only 10% away now, and Bitcoin doesn't look done yet. If we get there, load the alts. And so somebody named SCY responded, "Isn't it worth converting XRP/XLM to Bitcoin to take advantage and then convert right back at new all-time high?" And Credible Crypto wrote the following. Well, two things. One, tax implications for converting, and two, XRP/BTC chart is on higher time frame support and printing HTF bullish divergences. Probably not the best time to convert XRP to Bitcoin. And he went on in his video to cite that, look, if you've got a long-term position, it's like so many people, they'll get scared or this or that, and they'll go chase what I call the shiny, green candle pumping. And then they'll get out of their long-term position because it's not looking good at that particular moment, then put it in something else that's already pumped up a bunch, and then what they moved out of ends up pumping. And so I refuse to behave like that because I see that as one of the greatest downfalls of anybody investing in stocks or crypto. I refuse to behave like that. And even if I feel an emotion about it, I just don't act on it. I'm not willing to do that. I'm just not going to chase the shiny. That's not how Moon Lambo rolls. And he also cited that if you look at the XRP BTC chart, you haven't seen the level that's at now since late 2017 when XRP had its biggest run-up bull run in history right now. And so he thinks it's certainly possible that okay, fine, he acknowledges maybe it's a dead cat bounce, and then you see it trend down further than where it is now, and then maybe consolidates a little bit further. But even if it does, he still believes it's going to go up, and he articulated his case, citing many of the things that I've talked about on this channel from a non-trader perspective, which is simply, like, just to name a couple, like how about the vast majority of the liquidity outside of the United States? You know, you're talking about 85, 90%, whatever it is, of the trading done outside of the United States. You know, what about the tremendous support behind XRP in general in multiple use cases? You know, you're not, in my humble opinion, you're not going to see a top cryptocurrency that's been trading for damn near 8 years on open markets just suddenly, like a snap of a finger, you get some bad news and then it's gone forever. That's not how it works. So we'll see. Now, it's certainly the case, again, that some people may be looking to exit sooner than later. And if they want to, after it pumps back up a bit, assuming it does, that's fine. I'm not going to disparage anybody for doing what they think is right. And if you can't sleep at night, you might have overinvested. So I'm totally sympathetic, which is why it's so disgusting to me what the SEC has done to everybody. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't feel protected by what is going on here. Not by the SEC, most certainly not. And then you've got, where did I want to pull it next? One sec here. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's another tweet from LR. Credible Crypto. If organizations such as MicroStrategy are coming in and taking Bitcoin off the market, do you feel this will affect a bull run on alts? To which Credible Crypto responded, and I share this opinion firmly, he wrote, "Nah, retail will come in soon enough, and even institutions aren't buying alts. Retail will." And interesting enough, by the way, I don't know if y'all caught my video, but I put one out just the other day highlighting that Grayscale at peak scared levels at the tail end of 2020, after all the news dropped from the SEC, after Coinbase announced and Bitstamp announced all the delisting / suspensions of trading, depending on which platform you're talking about. After all the scary news, they increased their holdings by 12 million XRP roughly. And so I'm looking at what they're doing. That was not an emotional decision. That was a strategic decision. And so that tells me that they must be, well, look, that's institutional money. That's the definition of institutional money, right? And institutions don't buy all willy-nilly and make like change their opinion on the flip of a dime or whatever the hell the saying is. Like they're not going to get in and then get scared a week from now. They think long term, and they have a lot of money, and they behave differently than the typical retail investor. And so that was an institutional purchase, but even if most of the institutional money is still going to go almost exclusively to Bitcoin, that still brings ultimately new attention, including tons of retail investors into the space. And a certain amount of those retail investors are going to be like, what are these other coins? And then they'll research and they'll find out and they'll make decisions, purchasing decisions, and more money simply flows into the space. And with these smaller cap coins, even if you want to call XRP a large cap, fine. There's so much less money in XRP than Bitcoin. It's not even close. And so to me, that represents an opportunity, because in order to get a doubling, tripling, quadrupling effect in terms of what you're investing, it doesn't take nearly as much money flowing. And so even just getting retail investors to come to the space, which they're coming, it's this is an institutionally driven run so far, but and it will continue to be, I suspect. But you'll still get new retailers in, and they will be paying attention to this, and that is enough. Given there's so little money, even if they have less money than the institutions, it's, I believe, my humble opinion, that they have enough, and we saw this in 2017, to get crazy run-ups here. And so, again, not pretending to know exactly what this is all going to look like, but I'm going to be here for the ride, that's for damn sure. And if you want to check out Credible Crypto's video, you can see, I don't know that he has a YouTube channel, I don't know that he uploaded it to there, you can check. But he'd mentioned on his Twitter account that he'd been posting most of it there, and you can see right here, just go at Credible Crypto, you can easily find it if you want to get the specifics here. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Magic, who wrote, "Wow, interesting that XRP is popping as Bitcoin tops out on this move. I expect Bitcoin to retrace now back into the upper 20,000s, and then it will regain its footing and head to $70,000 to $80,000. By the way, I almost forgot, Credible Crypto did cite it's possible you could see a retracement for Bitcoin. And he said, if you do get some sort of retracement from Bitcoin, that would probably be the only way, within reason, from a technical analysis perspective anyway, that you'd see XRP get down to like 17 cents ever again. Because this is, at least as we sit now, this is XRP's position relative to where Bitcoin is now. But again, if Bitcoin tanks, presumably it would follow along with the rest of the market. Fine. But even if so, Bitcoin's going to keep rallying, more money comes into the space, and I'm not going to get scared and that's an if we see a 17 cent XRP or lower, I am not going to emotionally respond. I'm going to hold and let everybody else make the emotional decisions and let them work it out, and I'm just going to be sitting on the sidelines holding my XRP, period. That's just the way that I choose to roll. And then here is a tweet from Willie Woo, who wrote, "We'll never see $20,000 Bitcoin again. $24,000 support would need a black swan event to break down. Floor price supported by long-term buyers is rising very fast." And so outside of some sort of weird fundamental news that's going to spook buyers, he's saying, $24,000 support, and it's not going to go back down. He may very well be right. There's not much Bitcoin on the market. Bitcoin is, as expected, as I've been talking about for the last couple of years, continuing to lead the market. Totally fine by me. Totally fine by me, expected by me. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, if ever. I don't care. I just want a bigger space for everybody, and I want XRP to be able to fight for whatever percentage of the pie it ultimately the market decides it deserves, which I think will end up being substantially more than it is today. Like, clearly people want it and believe in it. They're just scared by the news. But humans around the planet want it. And so I can only imagine how much higher... I'd be surprised at this point with how much Bitcoin action we've seen in this time period. I'd be surprised if XRP weren't over $1 if not for the news. I would be kind of surprised at this point. And that's what analysts were calling for. In this time frame, even in the coming weeks, pretty much all analysts were talking about whether it's $1 or $2. Some were saying a few bucks. They could disagree on what it is, but they're all saying, yeah, you're going to see some major action. And sure enough, you've been seeing from alts, over the last 24 hours in particular, you've been seeing them popping. And XRP over the last, in particular, hour or so, fine, it has been. I don't know if that's going to persist, but it hasn't been moving with the rest of the alts in tandem. So I think there's still a lot of scared people out there. Let's see where it is now. Did it go down? It went down a little bit. So it's at 25 cents even as I record this. Not that it necessarily means anything, but that is where we are. So I don't know. It's an interesting ride. Nothing goes up in a straight line, so it'll be real neat to see what happens if these analysts are right about what they suspect will occur in the next week or two. But for me, regardless, though, although I'll never offer financial advice because that would be disingenuous, I'd never do that. I will just continue to encourage people to do their best to remove emotion from the buying and selling process, and just know you're not alone. You got a whole XRP community out there that is suffering along with you, thanks to what's happening with this impending litigation. But I'm here for the long haul. I'm going to keep running this damn channel. I'm not going to be here only during the good times. I started this channel at the bottom of the bear market by coincidence. Just December 14th, 2018 was my first video. And I've mostly known the bad times, and this is a bad time for XRP a little bit. Although maybe maybe we'll see some relief in the next week or two. That'd be nice. And the good news is there's always opportunity. I'm going to be, and I'll be talking about this more in other videos, but I am going to be investing in additional cryptocurrencies since I paused my XRP purchasing, and I see tons of opportunity. You know, we're at the beginning of a bull cycle, and sometimes these things last years, so it'll be neat to see where this all tops up before a bubble forms and then pops, and then we see major retracement. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity along the way, and I'm actually excited for that. So it's not all doom and gloom. XRP is not just magically dead because of all this scary news, and we're just going to keep on trucking here. At least I am on the Moon Lambo channel. But that is it for this latest hot jam. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.